have to leave.
You're on call. All right, I'm recording now. Hi, guys. It's Reading Books with Friends, the podcast. I'm Butter. Who's everyone else?
I'm Tnerb.
Who's everyone else? Szage. Why are you not paying attention at all?
I'm Szage.
And I'm Red.
Why are you not paying attention?
Huh?
You're not paying attention.
I just have to do something really quickly.
Okay, really can we mute him? Can we mute him or kick him out of the call? This is our first podcast episode with Tnerb. Welcome, Tnerb. Tell everyone who you are.
I'm Tnerb. I got nothing else to say, really.
No, what kind of books do you like? What's your favorite books?
The top half of your face.
Yeah, turn your camera down, idiot.
No, I know. I'm just trying to. Okay, sorry, guys. I'm Tnerb.
What other books do you like? What kind of books do you like? We read books with friends.
We do. So, I wanted to be involved in this book club because I like all of you except Butter. No. No, my favorite books are fantasy and science fiction. I've just finished the Red Rising series. Can't wait for the 7th book.
Turn your camera down a little bit.
Huh?
Either move your head up or move the camera down a little bit.
I'm standing right now because.
Well, move it down. That's fine. You're good. No, you're good. You're good. Okay, Red Rising.
Anyways.
Szage, have you read all those books?
As you're talking, can it be like a documentary style motion capture thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do have one of those, like, it's not a Furbo, but you could put a Furbo on me and it will follow me like I'm a dog.
Nice.
Oh, we have a Furbo.
I also like the book Clifford. So
Red just also finished the Red Rising series. Actually.
Wait. So Red, have you read all the new ones too?
Yes.
Damn it!
I read 1, 5, 6, and 7, or 4, 5, and 6. Yeah.
4, 5, and 6.
Yeah. Butter car shit.
Damn it! Everyone keeps reading things without me.
Yeah, it's so good though. It is.
I thought we read with friends only.
Well, no. Oh no, that is not the case because Szage and Red read like fucking like it's their lifeblood. If they don't absorb every book constantly, then they die.
Did you read the second of The Will of the Many or whatever the series is?
It's not out yet.
It's not out yet.
Coming out. So don't read it until Butter and I read because I'm just about to start the first one.
Okay.
I was hoping we could do that because that's like right up my alley.
Well, there's rules. Should we explain to Tnerb the rules of the? It's a good refresher for everyone else too. What are the rules of the podcast? How we do things here?
If you have not read books previously and we start a series together, you can't go past the first book unless everybody is going past the first book at the same time.
That's fair. That's a good rule. I like that.
So that's a great rule. Szage does not follow that rule.
I'm listening.
But that's a great rule.
Follow it, yeah.
So 90% of the books actually 100% of the books that I'm recommending to the group, I've already read the book and likely the series if I liked it already. The only reason why I wouldn't read the series is because I don't like the book.
Yeah, I literally tell people all the time now. People are like, "Hey, do you want to read this book?" And I'm like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna let my buddy Szage vet this book for me because I'm not gonna waste my time with it if he says it's bad.
Tell me the book.
I don't have enough time for this. I can't.
Give me the name of the book, and I'll be like, yay or nay. I'll give you.
Tnerb did that the other day. He was like, "Oh," and I was like, "I just ask Szage."
Szage, by the way, I just got recommended Discount Dan. Have you read that yet?
I don't think I have.
I read a book that Szage hasn't.
Anyways,
yeah. Oh my god!
He did, however, read the Communist Manifesto.
This looks a lot like Mimic and Me.
I liked Mimic and Me.
Okay, yeah.
No one else did, but I did.
Discount Dan.
A very obvious, sorry if the author ever listens to this podcast, knockoff of Dungeon Crawler Carl, but it's got its own spin, and so it's still kind of fun.
I can't. Okay.
Discount Dan.
Oh, I want to read this.
Discount Dan's Backroom Bargains.
cheesy
I
little
like
RPG books,
bargains.
It's like I think I've had my fill for a while, but
it's like
I hear you.
fun,
This book is
campy,
a
light
effing
reading.
delight. I enjoy the absolute hell out of it.
New puppy is biting the cords of my microphone, which is not ideal.
But I would never recommend that book for book club when we have this elite group and so many good things to read. And I'm actually hoping we go back to Dungeon Crawler Carl now that Butter listens to audiobooks. Butter,
so fast. So everything is so much faster in my life now.
Dungeon Crawler Carl, I will tell anyone, and I will die on this hill, the best audiobooks that exist in fantasy fiction.
Wow, that's a big sell.
You gotta read them if you haven't read them.
Tnerb, what book are we reviewing today?
We're reviewing the second book in the Bastion series. That's how I pronounce it.
What's it called?
It is called. Oh shit. Hold on.
Welcome. This is it. This is it. What's it called?
No, sorry. Hold on. It's Immortal Great Souls Rascor Plains.
The Rascor Plains by whom? By whom?
By your boy Phil Collins. I know it's Phil Tucker, but I call him Phil Collins in the air tonight.
Nice.
The Rascor Plains by Phil Tucker.
This is
book 2.
The problem with this is like we're gonna go on these random.
It's okay. It adds value. It's good content. So Szage, Red, and I. Well, they read the book when it came out, I guess.
A long time ago.
And then I read it for the podcast, and now we are covering. We were just waiting for Tnerb to finish, and now we're reading the second book. And next time we'll do the third book. And yeah, I'm blaming it on you, even though it was more complicated than that scheduling. But so I am balls deep into the third book with like an hour left. So I'm actually gonna pull up. I'm gonna make sure I don't spoil anything. Is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because Szage, you asshole. Last time when we were covering Bastion, you spoiled so much shit by accident. You were like, "Oh yeah, was that the trial?" And it's like, "Oh no, that hasn't happened yet." And you were like, whatever.
I think that was the one thing that I spoiled. That was the one thing.
It was a big thing.
That's a pretty.
It wasn't that big. It wasn't that big of a deal. But also, since Tnerb has not read book 3 yet, I would argue there's a lot of stuff in book 3 that happens that hasn't happened in book 2. So let's just be very careful. So Tnerb, usually what we do is we talk about the book. We say, hey, this was the first one, and we try and give a very quick synopsis of the second book, and then we talk about what we like, what we didn't like, etc., or whatever. So if you want, you can attempt to do a quick synopsis, or we can help along. I remember what happens at the end. And so, because the end is fucking awesome. And so, for me, I need to refresh myself on what our main character Scorio has not accomplished quite yet. But
wait, and are you talking about book 2?
Book 2. Book 2.
Yeah, okay.
So we want you, because you read book 2 most recently, to kind of guide us through with a very quick synopsis of like, all right, so here's what happens. So,
all right.
Book 1 ends with. Book 1 ends with him telling he won the thing. He won
He wins
and then book 2 picks up where he, basically left off. He's trying to get the hell out of there, and that's the general,
out of Bastion.
So, it essentially picks up right after his victory. Essentially, the final gauntlet, book 1, and then he's like sort of famous now. He's trying to get the hell out of there, and he gets the Rascor Plains sort of has a lot. There's so much to say.
No, I know.
So
this is the hard
happens.
part.
It's hard to
the
be like, how do I
hard
summarize
part.
this? But the general concept is it goes from like this. I think the overall theme is that it goes from a fairly similar to other books where it goes from this idea of competition to like ups and downs of.
The world gets a lot larger.
Yeah.
I feel like as we're diving through hell.
I found a picture online that I think is pretty good too.
See if you can put it on the thing.
Wider and wider. I don't know.
So as you're talking about, I'm starting to remember.
I don't know how much. Like, how do you even summarize?
We'll do it. We'll tag team this. So so Scorio leaves Bastion and goes to the Rascor Plains, and he joins Manticore.
Okay, so you're skipping over the first third of the book.
The first third is whatever. They go to the Rascor Plains.
Just really quickly. So he and the team, it's him and his friends Leonche and Leonis, and then Jova Spike, who's the sort of famous, another famous great soul.
She's so annoying.
Joins him. They're both decide they're gonna quit and leave Bastion.
Red has raised her hand.
Red, please go ahead.
Tnerb, as the newcomer, you should know this is how it always goes. The summary is going to take about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
No.
Because we always try and be quick. So I know I put you on the spot on purpose because it was funny.
The first third of the book is Praximar doesn't want them to leave. They want to leave.
Yes.
There's a lot of there's a rebellion from the regular people that's sort of starting to happen in Bastion. Basically, Scorio and his team, they hook up with rebellion. They persuade them not to openly rebel against the Great Souls. So that they can go to the Fiery Shoals and speak to the White Queen, who is the Carnal Duchess that intervened when Imogen the Woe attacked Bastion in Book 1. And she's known to be a very good person. They go there, they convince her, she comes back, she brokers a peace between the Great Souls and the regular people, where regular people will have a representation, and the four houses are still in power, and so forth.
I hope that works out for them.
Her name is Nova, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Nova.
I told Keeks that our dog was named after a character from the book, and also a character from StarCraft.
Yeah.
She didn't like that.
And then so then they're back in Bastion. The White Queen makes this sort of momentous announcement where she is leaving the Rascor Plains, where she has sort of kept the peace for a very long time to go deeper.
Whoa, you're skipping a lot. No, that's fine.
That's right at the
no, you can go.
Way more elegant than anything I could have come up with. So
and so she's going deeper into hell, which sort of upends the social order. But she, it's theorized by characters around her that in order to assuage her guilt from sort of leaving the peace of the plains behind, that's why she's putting this power structure into place. Scorio and his team then join up with a young, I guess they're a pseudo house or group called Manticore.
They're like an anti-house. They're like, we're not like the other houses. We only care about the pursuit of hell and the pit.
They have a base. They used to have an Imperator, but their Imperator died in the prophecy or whatever. And so they're sort of, they don't have a high-powered leader anymore. And so Damien is the name of the leader of Manticore, and Scorio and his group go with the Manticore Dreadblazes to their base at the edge of the Rascor Plains, where the chasm is. Sort of a mysterious area. And at this point in time, Scorio and Jova are both Tomb Sparks, and everyone else is below them. What's right before Tomb Spark?
Flame Volt? No.
Emberling. So the rest of them are Emberlings.
Yeah, I was going to say Flame Vault's the leader.
They get to the chasm where Manticore is, and Manticore basically tells Scorio and Naomi that they're shit because they tempered themselves in coal mana, which is the weakest and shittiest mana. They're absolutely fucked for their future advancement, and they're not going to be able to do much.
We're missing like a huge chunk, which is Scorio's maimed heart that he busted and broke. And he had that conversation with Manticore about you're not a good investment because of how broken you are. But if you work for the treatment that you need to fix your heart, well, then we'll get it for you. Right. And so they've convinced him he has to put in this work, but it'll pay off because then they'll heal him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And their point is that they have to, that him and Naomi have to do extremely hard, repetitive physical labor without igniting their hearts to squeeze out any and all coal mana that is within their bodies and within their hearts. And they just have to do this day after day.
They literally have to take pickaxes and break rocks forever. Fucking months.
Which a great soul can do, which a regular great soul after igniting could do in a second. They just have to do this over and over and over again.
Right.
And Scorio and Naomi start to do this, and they do this for months while the rest of the group train with Manticore and eventually are sort of rising up. And in particular, Jova becomes
this book was so awesome.
Flame Bolt, which
I'm getting
really
hyped up as we're talking about it.
Which obviously, infuriates Scorio because he feels like he's getting left behind. And he is
and then
Can we pause and talk about this part?
Yeah, we'll pause.
Yeah.
I believe that is about the first
that's
half.
a way more elegant way of putting
that is the first half of the book. Yeah,
we've gotten good at this. Well, not
don't,
me.
Don't compliment him because he'll just
sorry.
never.
Yeah. His head is already his head is simply too large.
I am the best at this, but it's fine.
Okay.
So yeah, no,
This book's so fucking awesome.
I like the first half of the book. I love that Scorio is just an angry person all the time.
He's an angry little elf.
It's not unlike me.
Yeah.
He is just full of anger and fury constantly, and it causes lots of trouble for him in his life as he does this. But I enjoy that part of the book. I like the very beginning when they're trying to leave Bastion, and a bunch of the other Academy students are sicked on them essentially. And you get to see all kinds of weird, crazy powers that we don't normally encounter, which I thought that was pretty cool. So,
What were you gonna say, Red?
Yeah, there were a couple things because I have to point them out about the first half of the book that were not my favorite. I mean, I love this story. I think it's excellent. In particular, the strife between him and Jova felt like a little contrived. That they finished their first year at the academy and he wants to strike out, and then she's like so fucking pissed that he wants to help the people of Bastion.
Who, Jova?
Yeah, right.
Jova sucks.
Right. It's not like, well, first off,
she's so annoying.
The conversations between them are just like two not real people.
Her voice sucks on the audiobook too. Her voice is like, I'm Jova, and I talk like this.
What do you think about Jova in the first half of the book?
Yeah, Tnerb.
Also, very similarly. I
sucks.
I didn't listen to the audiobook, but I imagine that's what I would envision as well. But
he's like, Scorio, I followed you and believed in your plan, and now we're helping stupid humans who are dying.
No, it's like the good. It's like, yeah, exactly.
And then his response is very lame. Like, not even, I still want to progress, but this is important. It was just like,
you asked me to do this out here.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't.
It was more like
him, and it wasn't believable from her. And I know that he needed to set up that whole scenario because of the Jova storyline through the book. I just don't think that it was as realistic or deep as I wanted it to be.
I don't know. I think it's consistent with her character when I actually think about it. I just think her character's annoying, but it is consistent.
I was gonna say I think it's very consistent with her character. I think it wasn't very consistent with him. He could easily have explained. He's been very eloquent in the past. He knows how to motivate and really shift people's attention, and he just doesn't explain to her why this is kind of important or that they should level with this. To her, I totally makes sense. She's always been every single lifetime. The history of Jova. Like every single life that she comes back, she is very single-minded in the pursuit of power. She always ascends as quickly as humanly possible, and she doesn't give a fuck about anything around her whatsoever in order to get there. That makes sense.
What is it? Who does that remind you of in today's world? Dr. Buttercar.
Me.
The perspective I think was consistent. It was the conversations she was having. It was very whiny, and I don't think we had seen whiny Jova
I'm frustrated
until that point.
I'm out
and
here.
So that's where it felt
asked to
weird for
not
me.
be disturbed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well,
if you
then,
want the puppy to not disturb you, let me know.
I loved
been in
the
the other
travel
room.
to the Fiery Shoals and the White Queen and all of that was very fun. The hours of manual labor of months of breaking rocks, and then the other monotonous time frame that we will encounter a little bit later were a little hard to get through because we all know
but the
me,
payoff is so awesome. The payoff is so awesome, though.
I want to point out that the monotonous time, I mean, it encompasses a chapter.
It's also anime.
And It's like literally like eight to 10 pages. That's it.
Felt longer.
It's longer than that. Szage is saying this because he reads 10 pages a second and doesn't read articles or names or
on the page.
Right. He probably just skipped that part.
I would not be surprised if Szage's new version of reading is ChatGPT summaries of tell me what happened.
That's actually a really good point. I don't think he actually reads books anymore. He just says, ChatGPT, tell me the gist of this book.
AI reads to him. A sweet lullaby.
It just injects it straight into his brain. He's not even paying attention. He doesn't even care anymore. He's reading another book while we're doing the podcast.
Chapters 37 and 38. It's like
that's more than 8 pages.
It's like 12 pages.
No, he's right. It's not that long. Those chapters are relatively short.
Yeah, they're really.
Anyways,
short chapters,
anyway, but when they're boring, they take longer to read.
Especially when you're listening to them.
Yeah.
I'm reading the book. I don't listen to, especially a book like this on audio. I get too impatient.
I like it. I listen to it when I play golf.
How do you do? Like, actually, what do you do? I can't sit still.
So
what do you do, and how do you do that?
I buy both. I buy the written and the audio version, and if you buy them through Kindle, they have Whisper Sync, which is their like technology where it keeps track of where you are in reading, and you can switch back and forth with visually reading seamlessly. So I listen to the audio when I'm driving, when I'm cleaning, when I'm walking the dog, when I'm like doing stuff, and then if I actually have time to sit down and read, then I switch to.
That's a good idea.
I'm just pure audiobook now because I do so much stuff. I have a lot of time to listen to stuff, so I just do pure audiobook now.
Yeah, but how do you?
How do you focus?
Example, no, I simply. I mean, I was listening to some of this history. These Dan Carlin.
Yeah.
But the problem is that like you can just like if I'm trying to pay attention, I don't know.
So pay attention.
I can only do it. I can only listen to if I'm like driving somewhere or like walking my dogs. Then I will listen to the audiobook. Otherwise, it's it.
I like the audiobook. I would recommend you try it. And the other thing too is I do my audiobook at 1.5 times speed now, and it really helps me with my slowness issue.
I have to stop doing 1.5 and go back to 1.2 because I was missing important details.
That's my issue, because I know that I'll start thinking about everything else in the world. That's my big problem. Or
you just gotta focus.
And I'll see, hey, look, there's a dog.
Yeah, you get distracted easily.
This hot tip. I think I'll show you guys. If you buy the Kindle book, I'm going to share my screen. Pick a book for me, Szage, that we haven't already read so that I don't already own it.
Trash Dan, or what is it? Scandal Dan.
Or
Scrappy Dan.
How about Worth the Candle? Worth the Candle.
Scrappy Dan.
This one?
Yep.
Oh, Through Adversity? Ugh, gross. Juniper Smith was always the creator. Was always the dungeon master, never the player.
Stop reading it. That's not the point. If you buy it, but then you click this little box, you get the audiobook for $5, which oftentimes, see, if you buy it over here, the audiobook is $44.
Oh, wow.
If you buy it here, the written book is $5, the audiobook is $5.
Yeah. So
you have to buy both.
The fucking audiobook for I think it was the third one was $50, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. I'm not paying $50 for this. But then through Audible, future sponsor of the podcast, through Audible, thank you Jeff Bezos and Amazon, you get like a token, 1 token per month or whatever. Token. And I used the token and it was not free, but whatever, paid for.
Yeah. Well, hot tip. I always do this now. Even if I don't think I'm going to ever read the written version, this way I'm getting 2 versions of the book for a 5th of the price of just the book.
Red, incidentally, you'll like this series. But,
Juniper was always the dungeon master. Oh, okay.
Good.
So
the last thing I'll say for the first half of this, the Rascor Plains that we're reading, 2 things. One is that I loved the deeper look into politics of like Hell and the White Queen leaving the Rascor Plains. She basically kept the peace. and she feels so bad about leaving, but it's like she had her blood barons, and she basically, they're saying that like she's totally wasted there. It was like an absolute waste for her to be on the Rascor Plains, and that as soon as she descends to the appropriate level that she would normally be at, you know, she would immediately ascend to a Crimson Earless or Countess, Crimson Countess, and then hopefully more. Yeah,
I loved her internal narrative being like, as if I'm going to stop at Crimson Countess. I think at one point she's like, I'm going to be an Imperator very soon.
Yeah. So I love that. And then the second thing I'll just say is that so a criticism that Phil Tucker received a lot after the first book came out was that if Bastion is in the heart of hell, it takes a lot of resources to feed a city. How do they ever do that?
Yeah,
and
you brought this up. You brought this up last time. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I like that he went into this in this part of the book because obviously that was really, and I think that it was, and maybe he had always planned on this, but you know, I know that there's that one section where he specifically talks about
what was the explanation? I don't remember.
So it's there's a certain section of hell which is patrolled by the houses that they're called the farmlands, and they're extremely conducive to growing crops and you know, abundant, because the rain wall basically makes everything incredibly, you know, and then the regular people are the farmers, but they basically go insane because of the, you know, the curse, so to speak. You know, they're not powerful enough to actually be out in hell, and so they just all go crazy over the course of their lives. I mean, it's horrible when you think about it.
But I love the explanation for it, because I think it was Scoria was like, why would they do that? And someone was like, gotta make your money, bro. Like, you gotta pay the bill somehow, bro.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, so a couple other things. So I think there's a lot of things that they kind of sprinkled in during the first half of this book that like were either hinted at in the first book or not perfectly explained. And so one is, I think that as a Charnel Duchess, that's what Nova is?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
She has Dominion.
Yep.
Yes.
So like, as always, is Scorio lucky? Is Scorio resourceful or whatever? You know, they're all getting fucking annihilated by a bunch of fiends that are coming to destroy them, and then Nova comes and saves their asses. And so that's where they, I think, first explain the concept of Dominion, where is it Charnel Duchess where you first get access to that power, or is it? Yeah. Okay, so at Charnel Duchess you first get access to the ability to kind of like, I don't know if is it just sense mana, or is it like sense somehow you're aware of everything that's going on in a certain physical region.
You've like claimed ownership of a region.
Preeminence is what they call it in the beginning in book one.
They switch between preeminence and dominion, and I was unclear actually if those were the same thing. I think that they are.
Yeah.
But it's like, and depending on how strong you are dictates how big the area is that you can command dominion over. And like, once you've established it, you own all the ambient mana in that area. You can leave it to be free for other people to use, which is what she does, right? Like, she has dominion over the Rascor Plains, but everybody can still use the mana, but she's aware of everything that's happening with the mana in the plains. So when those Exthelion thingies showed up and were like attacking, she could feel it, and so that's why she.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, so that's badass power, because in theory, if anyone was using mana, you could just be like, nope, sorry, you can't use mana. I take all the mana. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also that is kind of my understanding is like that's a big part of the reason why she stayed, because by being there and having preeminence and dominion, she essentially can very easily protect everyone in that region, but it's kind of like a waste because she is so powerful that although she has that ability to help people, she could do much greater things in other regions of hell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hold on, I won't fist
Things where things matter more.
And then the other thing that I can't remember where they bring it up in the book, but I don't think they bring it up in book one. And then in book two, they bring up this concept of like the winds of fate. I think it's what it's called, where they keep talking about Scorio is now at the point where like so many things have conveniently worked out for him, whether by luck or by skill, that now everyone is like, oh, clearly. Well, that's what I want to hear your opinion about. Is like,
so I'm
what do you
pretty
think
sure
about
that is a book 3 thing, is when they really start mentioning that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then never mind.
They don't really talk about it in book 2.
Okay.
You know, he at the point in book 2, he's just done something he did that thing with us. He's mainly known for intervening with Soul and Imogen,
right?
And that's it, right? And then but
and then
like,
things happen. Okay. Yeah,
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so at this point, he's just grinding away, working for Manticore. And then after a couple chapters, I'm telling you, it's like 12 pages of him doing that. Damien approaches him and says, "Hey, I need you actually to help me deliver an artifact to, I think it's House Kraken or something like that, as a part of this peace deal that the Iron Tyrant is going to sort of maintain peace across the Rascor Plains now that the White Queen is gone." And he meets up with Druana, who is the Pyre Lord, who's
Pyre Lady,
who I don't know why she's like a House Kraken Pyre Lady or something like that.
Yeah,
I believe. Yeah, I think so.
The House Kraken or House Chimera Pyre Lady, and they are on one of the whale ships, and they're heading towards. Is it the Fiery Shoals? The Fiery Shoals.
Yeah, but you missed the whole chasm escapade.
The artifact that they find this thing. Are you talking about that?
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah, she came to the chasm, Druana, with 2 dread blazes, and they went down with all the Manticore dread blazes.
Yes.
And Druana's dread blazes died, and only she from House Kraken escaped. But she was unconscious when they brought her back up.
And then obviously this is foreshadowing where earlier in the first half of the book we have learned the powers of several of the dread blazes that Manticore has. One of them can take possession or control of people. And then another one's really smart and can lay out really smart battle plans, and the other person can extend their hair, which is really gross, but fine. And they can tie people up and do all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So
I can extend.
Scorio, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say
he's making a joke.
Awesome. Yeah. Butter once extended his hair too.
I did. I had it real long. I had a mullet before I got a haircut recently. So they find this artifact part of the deal is the reason Manticore is doing this thing is because they're like, when we go down, we find these treasures that no one understands how they work, and then we can sell them for shit. And so they're we found this.
Damien's Dread Blaze power is that he remembers all of his past lives like Imperators do. And so he is aware of an artifact that is deep within the chasm that supposedly has, really powerful mana or something like that.
I think it lets you, what is it? It lets you channel mana.
It's supposed to be a gold fountain. It's supposed to
be. You activate it and it's just free gold mana in your face.
So he definitely tells them, or he's directing Manticore to go find them because he remembers his past lives. That's his Dread Blaze power. Yeah.
And he's like, Scorio.
Now he says, Scorio, you they asked for you specifically.
Be such an honor.
Deliver this artifact because you're the one who helped broker this peace. And so Scorio gets on this whale ship, goes with Druana.
Oh wait, pause. Sorry, I just want to make sure. Did we talk about how specifically Nova, in her announcement of "Hey, I'm leaving," also is like, "Hey, Scorio." I just thought that whole part was very cool, where it was like, "Hey, Scorio, talk about the thing you want to talk about," and Scorio's like, "Oh, peace for all the people in Bastion," and then Nova's like, "You know what, bro? Yeah, we'll do that."
Yeah,
that happened.
Yeah, I also like that. And it's implied, but no one is going to say anything to Nova while she's there. No one is going to oppose her. No one even lightly protests the giving up of power or anything because she is the White Queen and she's there.
Right.
And, basically great souls respect power above all else. And so there's nothing that anyone can do. And they're like, yeah, sure, we'll give power to the people. No problem. Because she said that that's what they're going to do. Right. And then they did it.
So my point is at Scorio's like, yeah, I did it. That's all. And then and now Scorio's going on the whale ship to do this quest because it's like, Scorio, you are the greatest. You're amazing. They want you because you're the greatest. And he's like,
Before we go on to Tnerb, would you like to share anything? Because you're too nice to cut them off.
He's not that nice.
Sorry, I'm trying to deal with the child. So
yeah,
okay.
I figured
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Yeah.
But
You'll just throw in a couple dad jokes here and there, and you're.
I would love to cut them. I know I'll cut them off when I'm just. Yeah.
So, all right. So then.
Asking right now.
So Scorio is on the whale ship, and Damien. Oh yeah, what do you?
Salad with shrimp that my
very healthy.
Lovely wife.
Did she catch the shrimp? And...
Winter Latina made for me.
Aww.
Nice.
But I have not eaten all day, and
you're allowed to eat.
Definitely.
Okay, so now Scorio, you have this honor. Present the artifact. We want you to present it directly, and I will only show you how to activate it. Only you.
Yeah. So Damien tells him how specifically the activation sequence for the artifact, because again he remembers his past lives. Scorio goes with Druana to the Fiery Shoals in order to do this, along with several of the Manticore Dread Blazes. Scorio, the captain who is picking up the device and he's from one of the other houses, asks Scorio to activate it to show him that it works.
He works for the Iron Tyrant, though. They all work for the Iron Tyrant. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this is like the Iron Tyrant ship, and the Iron Tyrant is, I'm pretty sure you know this, he's the dude who, when did they bring this up? He has access to a ton of gold mana because, I'm trying to remember how they explain that.
He's the new big boss now that Nova's gone, the White Queen, but he doesn't live in the Fiery Shoals, he lives in the Iron Weald. And so, like, the deal that they made is that Bastion will be ruled by the four houses, but if there's anything that's contested, then the Iron Tyrant gets to weigh in. And he is a Blood Baron, and he's only staying in the Iron Weald because he controls the gold mana delivery from the Rascor Plains gold Crucible Fiery Shoals thing to deeper parts of hell. And he has like a monopoly on this gold. He gets to decide who gets how much and when they get it.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that because that's really important, because this is like the Iron Tyrant ship, and the idea is that Manticore is presenting this artifact as a gift, as like a token of goodwill, of like, hey, we got this artifact, we want to give this to the Iron Tyrant for free to let the Iron Tyrant know, we are showing our respect. Yeah. And then
so this is, I think it's at like 55 or 60% of the way through the book. At that point, Scorio activates the artifact, and it begins immediately draining all the mana around everyone, and it weakens the people on the Iron Tyrant ship. And they interpret that as an attack, and basically the houses attack each other. And in the chaos, Scorio is attempting to do something. He notices Druana is fighting, and and I guess he had seen her fight before, I think
she summons like a big skeleton thing, right?
She summons. I interpret it like almost like an Asura type thing.
I visualize it as like a giant Gumby thing.
Okay.
Szage, what do you think it was?
Like an Asura type, like the
fuck is an Asura?
Yeah, you're saying a word that we don't know.
So I think of it as in Elden Ring Night Rain.
They're like a malevolent
spirit,
like a malevolent being
samurai
from like Hinduism. Yeah, they have like 4 arms or 6 arms.
Yes,
they wield swords and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's like, I think that's probably where he's pulling.
That's the inspiration. Yeah, I think of I don't know if in Elden Ring Night Rain, there's a character who can summon spirits, and one of the spirits is a big skeleton thing with 4 arms that has swords. Anyways, I think of it as a big spirit thing with swords. Yeah. And he notices that it's like weaker or something, right?
Yeah.
Or it only has 3 arms or something.
Yeah, even though it's powerful, it seems very weak for a Tyrant Lord.
No, the key is that it's supposed to be invulnerable. Like, it is not supposed to take any damage at all from anybody. But Druana is the one who's vulnerable, and he sees the Eidolon taking damage.
Yeah.
What is an Eidolon?
That's what they call it.
Oh, okay. The thing. The thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait a minute.
Yadrell, I think is her name.
Yadriel.
Idriel. I don't know. I don't know how. I didn't listen to the book. Idriel. Is it a guy or a girl?
It's a girl.
Yeah.
It's a girl. Okay. Idriel has her ability is to summon. She can basically lock someone in a prism. Yeah, like I interpret it like a crystal prism. I could be wrong. I don't
that's
know
what
how
I
you
thought.
guys visualize it. Yeah, like a crystal prism that can last as long as she wants it to. And so she basically betrays Scorio, locks him in a crystal prism, and drops him into the crucible, which is where they pull up the gold mana. And it's deep, deep underground, like way down in these gold mana. I interpret it like lava, basically, at the very bottom of this giant mine shaft. And Scorio is dropped in there, and he's frozen. He doesn't need to breathe or eat or anything like that, but he can still think. But he can't move. He can't do anything else. And he drops down, and he realizes that Manticore has betrayed him. And he spends a lot of time in Red.
2 years.
You don't like.
I'm pretty sure it's 2 years.
You don't like it when no action happens, but I mean, this is like
dope.
A good,
this part's really cool.
I
know it's slow, but
he's dropped all the way down the bottom of the shaft, falls into this pool of gold.
The ultimate sense of torture. I would do this to my worst enemy.
Right, right. So that's what I wanted to highlight is that like they are specifically not killing him. It would be way easier to just kill him. And instead,
it's the best form of torture of all time.
Right. Yeah. Instead, it's
evil-minded person as myself.
You are locked in this prism until it wears off. Essentially.
Yeah.
I'm taking this whole section as like political commentary on isolation in prisons, like solitary confinement. That's how I'm choosing to see this. I think Phil Tucker is like making a statement about how we treat prisoners.
I just think that in general it's pretty horrific. Like no matter what way you look at it, like the act of being trapped, cognizant, unable to go unconscious, right, and you're just frozen. You cannot breathe. You cannot do anything. That's pretty horrible.
He can sleep, right?
No,
he can't sleep.
Close his eyes.
It's like
so he's just locked in. It's locked in syndrome.
Yeah.
What's the movie where they have to
Batman.
Hypnotize somebody? Huh?
Batman.
You said Batman, yeah. I was gonna say Ant-Man.
Nice.
No, it's like one of the Key and Peele movies where they like hypnotize them.
This is not a real movie.
Get
out.
Yeah.
Get out.
Oh yeah.
It's not Key and Peele. You think Key and Peele? Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on.
No,
you think both Key and Peele came together and directed this movie?
No, only one of them did. I just can't remember.
Jordan Peele.
Key and Peele.
Yeah, but no, that's exactly right.
Yes, it's exactly like Get Out. Phil Tucker stole this from the movie Get Out.
To be clear, I don't actually think Phil Tucker is making any sort of political statement. I was being satirical.
Facetious.
Yeah.
But anyway, so turns out down at the bottom of the mine shaft, there are giant gold mana fiends, which I'm thinking they're like almost like dinosaur type things. Like
that's what I pictured. Lava dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was thinking of them. I don't know how you guys thought of that. Yeah, like big Komodo dragon.
Like lizards a lot, so I just pictured a Komodo dragon, but like obviously way bigger because they were compared to the whale ships.
I pictured the Eternals in the movie, The Eternals, with the people who were trying to kill everybody. You know who I'm talking about?
The movie was terrible.
It was
the Marvel
terrible,
one.
But, yeah, but what were those things called? You know what
I don't remember. I blocked that movie from my thoughts because that movie sucked.
They all take like multiple shapes, so I don't know if that's like
they do. Yeah, I mean maybe not. I don't know.
The one dinosaur looking one. Okay, I kind of get it. Yeah.
Was that the one that had Jon Snow and
Yes.
The other Stark?
Yeah,
the other guy. Yeah.
That movie sucked.
Icarus. He flew too close.
Why are you talking about this? Did you really like this movie?
No.
You know a lot about it.
I watched it. Can I tell you what the worst form? What do you
Hold
think
on,
would be a worse?
let
do you think this is
Tnerb
the
go.
worst form of torture you could have for what he got? Like,
What?
if you had to be tortured, Butter, what would your worst torture? This is
Why would
pretty
I pick
bad.
the worst torture for myself? I would pick the
No,
least bad
just think
torture.
about it. What
Like,
would
if
in
you
your
think
mind?
about
It's
what
like
the
what
worst torture
of the
is.
things that you don't. It's not. Obviously, you don't want to pick the worst thing, but I have something that I think is worse than this.
Oh, I think the worst torture is with the water one, not waterboarding, but the one where
Where they
isn't
put
there
you
one
on-
where they do the drips of water on you,
Yeah,
and over time it gets like more and more
it's like
painful.
incredibly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one. No, I was thinking.
Or
of,
the fingernails.
Well, no, that would drive. No, mine is if.
No, we're listening. No, you got us.
No, mine is 100% Gwen Stefani, Hollaback Girl. If they played it on repeat and I was sitting in a room and they just played BANANAS on repeat, or wait, hold on, no, this isn't
That one's pretty good.
or you know the song I'm Blue, da ba dee da ba da. You know how it reels up. It's like, and then it goes blue. Okay, well up to that point and then stopping. And then repeating it, and
So you never get the like sweet release of the I'm Blue. It's just the build up.
I promise you that I'd rather be with Bastion.
I think
with Scorio.
I think Fireball by Pitbull on repeat forever would be good.
I like
that song is amazing. What's
that's
what
good
do you
song.
have against
Yeah, it
Fireball?
can't be amazing forever. You think it's amazing, and then you hear it for the 30 millionth time.
Yeah, I think
and then you're like, okay.
I had a
Fireball
car ride with that. That was wonderful.
I came, I saw, I conquered. Should I say I saw, I conquered, I came?
The other one that would suck is the hamster dance. On repeat. Forever.
This is Tnerb. This is welcome.
Hey, it's good.
Hey, what are we talking about? Let's go
back to this. Yeah.
The book.
Pretty badass. That form of torture is seriously incredible.
Yeah.
Other than the two things that I said.
So he's getting tortured. So he's in this perpetual thing, whatever, and he's not doing well. And then,
so one thing that should be noted is that the prison is supposed to last forever, right? That she had basically made it strong enough that it's supposed to last forever. So he's supposed to go insane down there, right?
Yeah. And he's starting to kind of lose it.
And he does start to go insane. But a gold mana fiend basically grabs the prism, and they're very, very strong, and slightly chips it.
Right. So there's like a hole in it, right? Basically.
I interpret like there's a tiny chip at the top, but like the gold mana is so strong that it basically gives it an in, and it starts to erode the prison over time. And so Scorio realizes that he can affect he starts to understand what his Tomb Spark power is, which is that he can basically give a mental command, yell a mental command at things around him. And he uses that to basically get these gold mana fiends to throw him out of the pools of gold mana and onto the land. But it's everywhere is still saturated with gold mana around him. It's in the air, it's everywhere. And then he realizes that he's on a ticking time clock because the crack is slowly widening. Gold mana is basically drilling into the prison that he's in. And as soon as it hits him, he's going to explode because his heart cannot take that kind of mana and power, and he's going to die. And then eventually it does get to him, and he realizes that he doesn't want to die, even though he's kind of insane at this point because he's been in there for so long. And he tries to, he uses the
secret marinating. Best friend Scorio, secret marinating technique that he learned from his buddy Nox. The what kind of frog is he?
Imperial Ghost Toad.
Imperial Ghost Toad friend, best friend Scorio.
Yes. So Scorio realizes that he can split the gold mana stream coming in, and he's basically, it's like immolating him essentially in his heart. It's burning his heart to pieces, even though he's igniting it. He's trying to burn off as much as he can, and he basically is able to establish an equilibrium where he can burn the gold mana constantly and not die and explode. But the problem is getting worse and worse because more and more mana is drilling in every every second that goes by.
Okay.
Yeah, and like this is a really critical point in his evolution because he figures out using the delightful secret marinating technique.
Oh, delightful secret marinating technique, best friend Scorio. Okay.
He can take a sliver of the gold mana to fuel his heart as it's coming in, because before this, it was like you filled up your heart, you turned it on, you couldn't take in any more mana while it was on, and then you used what was in your reservoir until your heart died. And it got to the point where he was like, I have to burn stuff as it's coming in or I'm going to die. And so he does. He splits the stream and like a tiny little bit goes to burning his heart continuously. And then he forces the rest out into the nearby lizard people.
Yeah. The goal, and he basically uses his flame or his Team Spark power to summon these gold fiends nearby, and he just starts feeding them the gold mana that's coming into his prison. And eventually they basically start dying. They pop, right? They get so fed with gold mana and they're too stupid to move away, and they just implode. And he keeps having to summon more and more, and it's like carnage. He's like killing like tons of these lizard things as he's desperately trying to burn this mana off.
I can't remember. Is this like it's a Pyre Lord level technique, right?
Yes.
To be able to
use, so it's a Pyre Lord technique to use the secret marinating technique and like burn it specifically, right?
So,
outside of your reservoir to use mana in the environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, to burn ambient mana to ignite, to bring in ambient mana into your heart while your heart is ignited. That's a Pyre Lord technique. You don't know the details of that,
right?
At this point in time,
but he's not supposed to be able to do that.
Yeah, he's not supposed to be able to do that, and so he continues to do this. And lo and behold, over time, basically the gold mana and the constant ignition of his heart burns away all perfections in his heart. You don't know how long at this point in the book. You have no idea how long he's been doing this.
2 years.
And his heart ends up absolutely enormous, right? It grows in size and is
like
perfectly
the Grinch.
spherical.
His head is simply too.
His head is simply too large,
and it's perfectly spherical. And
as all hearts should be.
Somehow triggers his flame vault trial, right?
Yep. The flame vault happens after he gets out.
No.
I thought it happened when he was there.
It happens when he's down there because that's what he uses to get out.
No, because he's fighting all of those bugs in the room after he gets out, and then he evolves to flame vault and gets wings because he thinks he's gonna die.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, Szage.
I don't know. He rides like one of the dinosaurs up. I don't remember the roof of the bugs. What's the roof of the bugs? I don't remember.
No.
Whatever. He escapes. It doesn't matter.
It's fine. So
pretty badass.
I have questions.
I'll finish this little section.
You have questions
about gold mana cracks his coffin enough that he's free, but he's still at the bottom of the fucking crucible. And so he's like running around trying to figure out how to get out. And he falls in a hole into a little cave that doesn't have a ground level exit, and he has no way to get out the hole. And then all of a sudden, all of these bugs swarm into said cavern and attack him. And he's fighting them and he's fighting them, and it triggers his flame vault evolution.
One thing to note too is that while he was still imprisoned, in order for him to burn more and more gold mana, he had been summoning his shroud over and over and over again and allowing the gold mana fiends to shatter it as a way to burn as much mana as possible, because he was trying to get rid of as much gold mana as possible. And then over time, you don't know how long, eventually his shroud could withstand the hits from gold mana fiends.
Why do you keep saying it like that? They say it's 2 years.
You don't know that it's 2 years until
but you find out like 5 minutes later that it's been 2 years.
Okay, fine. So for 2 years, and so eventually, the shroud can withstand gold mana fiend hits, and I think those are Pyre Lord level opponents. Essentially, those are Pyre Lord. That's the level of a Pyre Lord.
Okay, so then he is a flame vault. And we'll get to the trial in a second. I have questions. Okay. Mm-hmm. So here's what I don't understand. When they made him and Naomi like break rocks for 2 months, did that actually help?
Yes.
Yes.
So why did they do that? Why would they do that? Why would they help?
Right. So
If they knew they were going to betray him.
Because it's an actual good justification to waste their time if you don't intend on letting him fill back up with good mana, right?
Okay, so they thought, like, we're wasting your time and you're going to die, so, like, we're not going to train you, we're just going to make you crack rocks.
This, it's totally reasonable.
Yeah,
Got
if
it,
anyone
got
asks
it.
about
Okay,
it, like, yeah,
okay.
they're actually doing something that they're
Got
supposed
it.
to do.
Okay.
They just don't have to, it's meaningless if they don't do the second part of it.
Okay, so it did in fact do what they intended.
Yes.
But they thought he'd die, so they were like, whatever. So it did drain all the cold mana out of his heart, and then when he went in there, essentially his reservoir was empty, and then he did in fact completely fill it with gold mana.
It's not the reservoir, it's like your body. His body was saturated in coal mana. Think of the way that like Nox oozes coal mana, right?
Yeah,
like
okay.
So that's what had happened to Scorio. And they were basically saying you ruined your body because coal mana is not good enough. You want to be saturated in something stronger.
So now he's saturated in gold mana.
Igniting for 6 months, he desaturated himself. And in theory, like even if they put him in gold, he should have died from being exposed to gold. He shouldn't have been able to saturate in gold.
Right. So then that's my second question is like, if being exposed to this higher level mana is like would kill anyone in the situation, why did he survive? He survived simply because he had the ability to split the gold mana because of the marinating technique.
Prism. And the actual prism itself.
Oh, okay. So if he hadn't been in that prism, he just would have died instantly.
Yeah, he would have just instantly died.
Yeah.
Right?
It limited his exposure to that tiny stream that was coming through the hole, right? Like
how convenient.
Yeah.
Look, these books are super cool. There's a lot of twists. It's very neat. I like it. I like all the characters. There's a ton of Deus Ex Machina in these books, where it's just like, oh, conveniently, these 9 things happen to work out for our main character. How convenient.
Yeah. So one thing I'll say, and I know that that's like a common complaint in books and stuff like that, but like, let's say if you took a poll of 1 million people, right, and you track their lives, somewhere on that spectrum, one of them will be much luckier than the vast majority, and vice versa, right? Someone will be much unluckier than the vast majority. And we're not following the stories of any of the 999,999 people that are boring, that don't have these lucky encounters, because it's not interesting. We're reading about the 1%. Like, we're reading about, I don't know if you...
So your argument is that we call it Deus Ex Machina, but in reality, it's just like random probability, and we're just following the life of an interesting person who's lucky.
Yeah, we are. By the
I like that.
Yeah,
that's a really good argument. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, they're not going to write about some random.
Yeah, you're not going to read about some guy who just...
You're not going to get a story about the guy who died because he fell in gold mana and farted.
They should make a book about the random person.
It would just end.
See what happens. Yeah, exactly.
It would just be a shitty book.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I've never heard that argument. That's a really fun argument.
It is interesting. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, It's like if you, it's history from all the famous people, but if you actually, no one cares about the average person during history.
Right. The people who make the history books are the interesting ones, who have good luck, who have.
How many things had to happen to make Alexander the Great, or Napoleon, right? Like, how many things had to go right in his life? Like, oh, he tripped, and instead of him breaking his neck on the ground, he rolled and hurt his shoulder, and it made him always be sure-footed in the future, and blah 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 blah, right?
Yeah.
And so things like that. I just think that there are,
and all the people that he killed, no one cares about, because it would have just ended. It would have been like, I worked with Alexander the Great, and then I died. I was a hot plate.
Alexander the Average.
Yeah.
Lyndon was another character that you could like ascribe that to, which reminds me, has Tnerb read Cradle?
No, I know. That's part of why I really want to be part of the book club, is because he will appreciate all these things, and I just need it to be, if Butter says it, Tnerb's like, well, but if Butter, Szage, and Red say it, then Tnerb's like, okay.
No, if Red and Szage say it.
Yeah, I know. My opinion doesn't matter. My opinion's not relevant. But Cradle,
Butter.
put it on the list.
Yeah.
I would reread
Alright,
that, by the way.
I will.
Hold on one
Yeah.
second. Yes.
Cradle.
But anyway, I was going to say
Yes.
that I think that's that's just how I choose to interpret.
You can always
That
interrupt
some-
me
some
when
of
it's
the-
Chipotle.
You know,
I like
sometimes
that.
when you
Sounds
see
good.
like Deus Ex Machina stuff, it's like when it's egregious, it's like really egregious, and you're like, oh, come on, guys, or come on to the author. But like, I think things like this, it's totally understandable. Yes, this is an
It's also
interesting character.
very. You know what I thought you were going to say when you first brought up the poll thing? I thought you were going to say
Mhm.
if you got 1 million people and had them guess the details of how Scorio survives this, no one would figure it out because it's so creative. That's the other part too, right?
No.
If it's Deus Ex Machina, but it's like a really interesting, convoluted strategy that I never would have thought of, but also makes sense in the fabric of the universe. I like that,
Yeah.
right? There's no part of this where I'm like, well, that's bullshit. That doesn't make sense. It's like, oh yeah, like in the storyline of this world that he created, this is believable.
Yeah. Well, I think it's also there's a big difference between like unearned Deus Ex Machina
Right.
and like earned, right?
Right.
Like Scorio went insane for 2
Right.
years
Right.
with a horrible, horrible torture thing, and then like because of his circumstances and his sheer grit and
Right.
intelligence and rage, he
Exactly.
figured out a way out of this.
Exactly.
Whereas in like it's like, oh, the hand of God just reached down, plucked him out, and said, "Hey, you're on your way again," and then leaves him alone.
Like
after
that stupid fucking
That would be
dragon
ridiculous.
book. What was the stupid ass dragon book that Red liked that we all hated? The Fifth Wing.
The fourth
Oh.
wing.
God.
Isn't there another wing? Isn't there a fifth one out now?
There's so many wings. I just
wait,
had to
so
bring that up.
it-
No, I think.
Hold on. I want to hear what Tnerb says.
Yeah,
No,
Tnerb,
I
what
was
you
gonna
got?
say, I think. Okay, first of all, I would have 100% given up, right? Or I would have at least been.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone.
done.
Yeah. I would have been
So,
like,
I mean,
fuck this
that's
noise.
That's the other part about this where I'm like, how? In what? God, when you find out it's 2 years, like I would have been gone after
Yeah.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
probably.
just- yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if they were playing Gwen Stefani BNNS, I would have been long gone well before that. But I think I'm serious. It's crazy. Like that shows how his character developed. I mean, not that he wasn't
Yeah.
somebody that was going to be not working hard to get out of that situation, but 2 years of that shit. I mean, it
Yeah.
probably felt like an eternity too. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're just think about being alone for a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
also.
It definitely felt longer than 2 years. You're saying that you don't have a track of time. You don't actually know.
So I totally agree with you. But playing devil's
I don't know, I would
advocate
feel
and just
longer to
being
me.
annoying. These guys are immortal. They're used to being immortal. When you have 1 million
Fair enough.
lives and you just respawn,
Okay,
what's
fine.
2
Fair enough.
years?
That's fair. Yeah, I hear.
Well,
what you're
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, but in that scenario, but if you're just if it's human brain inside of Scorio, like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It's
impossible.
terrible. It's insane. Yeah, it's and that's what's really compelling about his character is like I can't help but root for the guy, right? If he was
Yeah,
just
exactly.
lucky, it wouldn't be interesting, right? But it's that he's
No,
lucky
there's more than luck. There's more
and
than luck.
he works his ass off.
Which I
Yeah.
appreciate.
Yeah.
I think it's not I mean, his power is obviously pretty impressive, and then it gets more powerful when he leaves. But
It gets
his refusal to give up, it's pretty impressive. It's
Yeah.
not unlike myself. My power is not so good, but no. I
Is
think
your
it's-
power
it's-
is that your flame bolt power? Not giving up?
My flame vault power is to if I could freaking teleport, it'd be tight.
Yeah, we should bring that up later. The what power would you have if you could have it? Because
Simply just so obvious that I don't know why you would even think of something else. Unless you're
do you
butter.
think teleportation is the obvious one? I don't think teleportation is the
I
answer.
know we've discussed this.
We have.
I
know.
disagree.
What
with
does
you.
Butter think it is?
Oh, omnipotence. Is
Yeah.
that the one where you know everything? Omniscience,
Yeah.
right?
You want to be impotent?
No.
No,
having all knowledge of everything, knowing
okay.
everything. Because if you
If
know
you know
everything, you can
everything,
do it. Like I can make a teleporter if I know everything. I can do
No,
everything. I can.
You would end up you would go insane.
You'd be
I know.
miserable.
Yeah.
They made a movie about that. I think it's called like Bruce Almighty, right? Like he gets like
That is not the plot of Bruce Almighty.
No, Bruce Almighty is not. He becomes
Bruce Almighty
God.
is that he can talk to, or he is God.
What's the movie with
becomes-
Scarlett Johansson.
No, okay. There are so many errors being said in this. It's with Jennifer Aniston, and I remember specifically because I am not and would never, at any point in time, objectify actors or actresses. However, I specifically remember that Jim Carrey's character, who has the power of God, lowers the moon to make Jennifer Aniston's breasts larger. I don't know why I remember that specifically, but I do.
Because the moon was really big. That's why.
The moon.
He brings the moon in.
He brings the moon down.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Anyway,
hold on.
There's
So let me just
several-
explain the
I can-
plot of
that's
Bruce
a- we can
Almighty.
do a book
So
club
in
on
Bruce Almighty,
I can quote that movie.
Bruce meets
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman, who is God. And then Morgan Freeman's like, "Huh, you think it's so easy? Oh, you think it's so easy?" I can't do Morgan Freeman.
That literally doesn't sound anything like him, but that's fine.
No.
yeah, it's horrible.
Morgan
All right,
Freeman
anyways,
says,
can we move
Morgan
on?
Freeman's, just let me,
Yeah.
I'm almost done. Morgan Freeman says, "You think it's so easy? Do you want to be God?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll be God." And then Jim Carrey figures out it's not so easy to be God. And then he's like, "Oh, it's kind of hard." And then he's like, "I told you,
And
I told
Evan
you
Baxter,
so."
Evan, and the prime rib roast of Sweden visited Washington today, and my tiny little nipples went to France. That's also a good line from that movie.
Uncle
Anyways,
Steve Carell. Anyways,
How
why do
do
we
you
talk about
remember
this?
that one?
I remember movies very well.
Yeah, he
We were talking
remembers a
about
lot of
the
movies,
Flame
but
Bolt.
only
Wait, so
movies,
what-
only movies from the early 2000s or the late 2000s,
Yeah.
early 2010s.
And I stopped having time to watch them all.
Yeah.
And that's not true. I can quote all of the stupid movies. All right. what
So
were we saying?
Scorio. So okay, Scorio becomes a Flame Vault. What was
Oh, yeah,
his
that's
trial in this thing?
This is the one where he betrays his brother.
And this okay. So
Yeah.
they're in the past
This is, the one where
No,
he
this is
burns
not the one.
city.
where they have to. Is this? I think is this the one where they have to decide whether to go after the scepter, the king's scepter, or I believe the options are like Scorio can be the leader of an army, or Scorio can be like a one-man army and go in and try to take out
No.
the king's scepter.
No, that's
Yeah.
the last one.
Oh,
That's
whoops.
his Dread Blaze.
This is
Hey,
where
Tnerb,
he
don't
can-
listen.
He can either grant mercy to
Yeah.
the Sea Barons.
Oh yes, this is the one that Szage spoiled last time.
Yeah, this is where he can either grant mercy to the Sea Barons in Spurn Harbor, or he can not grant mercy to the
Right.
And
so,
then
so
he's angry
basically,
as shit, and he's like, "No, we're gonna slaughter them."
so I think the short version is that these are people that were previously loyal to the king who now are like, no, we'll be on your side instead. It's like people who
These are the
change their
people-
loyalty or something.
No, these are the people that were loyal to the king.
Yeah.
Scorio's army took the city that these people were in, and these people had previously hung and killed all of Scorio's people
Right.
that were in this city.
Right. So they were
So
terrible.
Scorio took this city.
So they're
one of
prisoners
his
of war,
advisors-
kind of.
One of his advisors says to him, "Hey, the smart thing to do would be to grant them leniency so that the other barons in other parts of the kingdom will eventually start siding with us, or they won't side with the king at the very least." And Scorio's like, "Nah, fuck that. They mess with my people. They're dying."
Right.
And he kills them, and he decides in his vision that, "Oh no, we're gonna butcher them," and so forth. And then he's called the Shadow of Spurn Harbor. That's one of his titles, or something like
Yeah.
that. And this is the city that from his title. So yeah, and then so he becomes a Flame Vault. He has wings, and I think his like armor is expanded.
Yeah.
And he flies up out of the shaft, and he decides immediately that I am going to go John Wick and start slaughtering the Manticore members one
The
by
rest of
one.
this book is so
And
awesome.
So yeah, it basically almost plays out a little bit like the movie John Wick
Yeah.
in fantasy
Yeah.
form.
We
And
haven't talked about Moira yet at all. I really like Moira. I like her power. I like her story.
Yeah. So Moira, do you first meet Moira in like the spa at Nova's
Yeah.
headquarters?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so tell us about Moira.
Yeah. So Moira is a Pyre Lady or a Dread Blaze.
I think
Pyre
she's a
Lady.
pyre lady.
And we only really know one of her powers, which is that if she touches you, she has the ability to do telepathy with you, mental communication across any distance. And then she can also like influence your mental state, your emotions, your thoughts. And so like people don't want to touch her, right? Like they don't want to give her that power. And she can also like eavesdrop on people's thoughts after she's touched them without them knowing that she's listening.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure we hear her inner monologue in this book about what she thought she could do with those powers. Is that correct? Am I getting into the third book, Tnerb?
Yeah, I don't remember that.
You're saying what Moira thinks she's capable of doing?
Yeah, she had, like, when she gained this power, she had big plans about what she was going to do with it.
I don't remember that, but that could be. I mean,
So I do know that earlier in the book, you get a perspective. You get a chapter from Moira's perspective where she is cooperating with.
Yeah, but that's
with Praximar.
That was really early. That was really early. But
that was really early. This is before Scorio even comes back with the White Queen, and she's saying, "Oh yes, we can play this to our advantage," and so forth. Mm-hmm. And so you kind of assume that Moira is a bad guy.
You get another one from her perspective when Scorio sees her in the hot tub with like the hunchback guy that she's fucking.
So yes.
Wait, hold on.
What? Guy
I don't
recall. He's going around the fiery shoals. He's walking through the fiery shoals. He goes into this hot tub area and he corners one of the
I have so many questions
at the fiery shoals.
Hold on.
I want to hear better.
Hold on. Who are you referring to, and at what point do they suggest or imply or say that this person has a hunchback? I do not remember that.
It's when he first comes to the fiery shoals for like Nova's council thing.
Scorio, and he goes in the tub. Is this the scholar guy?
No, this is like their tour guide guy.
Yeah, he's like a he's like a nerd. He's like a scholar dude.
Yeah, he's a scholar.
He's like the guy.
Yeah, hunchback.
Kyrie.
Yeah.
I think it's his name.
He definitely has some sort of something.
I'm looking right now.
I remember that. I think you made that up. I think that is in your. I think you just assigned that to the character for some unclear reason.
No, I can't.
Can anyone verify this? Szage?
I'm looking. I don't know.
Okay, we'll get back. We'll get back to that specific detail. But also,
Red, do you have
is he fucking her?
He's 100% fucking her.
Yes.
You missed that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Sex in these books is kind of vague. They're like,
because it's not a smut book like.
It's not like
the Sixth Wing,
the Crowns and Thorns and whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, why did you bring this person up?
Because there's the chapter where he's in the hot tub with the hunchback and Moira shows up. You get another chapter from Moira's perspective, and
she's like, I want to touch Scorio. I want his thoughts.
In that little bit, she's thinking about like what I could have done, like the spy network that I could have cultivated with this power was so cool, but like nobody wants to let me touch them because they're afraid of what I can do. And so she's like eavesdropping on the people that she does know, and that's how she realizes Scorio's there, because she's eavesdropping on the hunchback guy. I swear, I'm gonna find it.
So then Moira,
a thing, but that's fine.
Moira goes, meets Scorio in these baths. Scorio demands to know where the Manticore dread blazes are. One of whom is in charge of the fiery shoals. The guy's name is Davalos.
Okay, so this is after. Sorry, just to clarify, we're now talking about after he escapes the Crucible.
Yes.
He's now gold.
He is now gold tempered, which means his body has been tempered in gold mana,
which is a huge deal.
It's a huge deal, and his heart is perfectly spherical, which is also a very big deal.
Right. So I'm being, over the top to emphasize this, that like him being gold tempered is not a minor deal. It's a huge fucking deal, and like to the point where
I found it.
Okay.
you're introduced to Kyrie. This is page 127 of the Rascor Plains, and it says Kyrie approached. He was tall but stood with a stoop. Hunchback.
Is that what that means?
I don't. That's just the association I made in my head.
Also,
yeah.
All right. Let's just make sure we dot our I's and cross our T's. Don Quixote, or not Don Quixote, Quasimodo, The Hunchback of Notre Dame is a hunchback, and that's a book that exists. And I don't know this, but in 2025, if hunchback's offensive, we're sorry. But I don't think it is. I think it's just a term. We should look up what a stoop is. Hold on. Continue. Continue, and I will look up a stoop.
Well, I mean, that's the end of the description. It just is. He's tall with a stoop, and so in my head,
Mora tells Scorio.
Man, I got it. I'm on it. A man with a stoop is an elderly or frail man who is stooped over. Well, you can't use stoop in the frickin' whatever. Who's stooped over due to age, posture, or a medical condition like osteoporosis. Yeah, so I think, okay, I'm just going to look up hunchback. Keep going. Szage, continue with the plot.
I mean, we're all on the edge of our seats for the
revelation
here. So
now we have to know.
I'm very
hunchback,
intrigued.
a back deformed by a sharp forward angle, forming a hump typically caused by collapse of vertebra, also known as kyphosis. Oh,
stoop.
Ooh, all right. We're going to clarify here. We're sorry to everyone. The internet has put a little disclaimer with a triangle warning sign that says the term hunchback is offensive and dated. So apologies. Man with a stoop.
Man with a stoop.
Anyway,
I think we're okay with this one. I think it's an honest mistake.
Mora tells Scorio that his friends are dead.
Szage isn't here for this. He's like,
gets mad.
Oh, we're talking about gold tempered. Hold on, sorry. Gold temper is a big deal. I just want to clarify that one thing, and then I'll let you talk. The gold temper thing is a huge deal because it's almost like when you're gold tempered, you can seemingly compete with people that are a level higher than you sometimes. Like it's a huge deal. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Szage.
And then Moira tells him that his friends are dead, and that Davalos is in charge. He's one of the Dreadblazes of the Fiery Shoals. And then Scorio's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go kill him, and then goes and kills him. Brutally, actually, like really brutally.
So awesome.
The description is pretty graphic, it's pretty awful.
I liked it.
So they fight, and Scorio is managing to get the upper hand. And Davalos is very confused as to why. Davalos can turn his body metal, and he can also sort of turn into mist as long as he's holding his breath and move a certain distance. Scorio basically, they fight. Scorio's winning. Scorio pulls him up in the air on his wings and over the massive like lava crater that is around the Fiery Shoals and drops him. And Davalos basically turns to mist in an attempt to save himself to get to the edge of the crater, and it's just like sort of like a sad thing where he can't hold his breath for long as he wants, and he basically turns corporeal or turns back into his body about halfway to the edge of the crater, and instantly his legs are generated, and then he holds his breath again and makes it a little bit further, and then has to again take a breath, and I think burns off his arms and his knees, and then he's sort of trying to like get to the edge, and he almost makes it, but just dies and basically is melted.
It's pretty brutal.
But yeah, it's pretty brutal. Everyone in the Fiery Shoals is watching him die as well. Is they saw the fight, they tried to intervene because at this point Scorio is the bad guy to them, and they're watching close die because no one can get to him because he's over this lava pit, and and then Scorio flies away to find next member of Manticore.
So that's the first one, and then next he goes after Evelyn, right? Who's the hair person?
Next one, Evelyn is stationed very close to there at the chasm, at the edge of the chasm, and Scorio wants to kill her before word gets back to the other Dreadblazes that he's alive. And so, because they recognize him, while they're there. And
Right.
Moira does her best to try and help him, or at least, disguise the fact that he was there. He goes to attack Evelyn. She's the hair lady.
Yeah. She can like make her hair long and tie you up in it and whatever.
Yeah, basically tries to kill her. And he has a much harder time fighting her. And she begins to get the upper hand, and he tries to basically drag her down into the chasm and drop her at the bottom of the chasm to where there are higher levels of mana down there. And she basically turns the tables on him because in the tight confines of the cavern of the chasm, she has the advantage with her weird hair powers. And then that's when you find out that Naomi is alive and also strikes at at Evelyn. And between the two of them, they also kill her. And she's like, "Oh, I always liked you." And they're like, "Oh, too bad." And then they kill her.
Yeah.
And then that's John Wick number 2. And then you find out Naomi had been basically alone in the chasm for the last 2 years. Really for years. She tempered herself in silver, which would be an incredible accomplishment, and she would be at the foremost of any great soul if it weren't for the fact that Scorio tempered himself in gold already. And and then she explains to him that they basically Manticore killed Leonshi and Leonis.
The hand raise thing? Are you like actively ignoring him?
He's actively ignoring me. Yeah.
Okay, now Butter, please. Go ahead.
Oh man, Naomi. She's got a tough her life's not easy. Huh?
What is happening?
I see that you raised your hand. You want to talk? Did you hear what I said about Naomi? Jeez. Whew. Boy, oh boy. It's not her life's kind of rough.
Yeah. Naomi also kind of went insane.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I would argue, well, anyways, yes, I agree. Her mental state is not great. And then you also find out at this point about 2 other people. Were you saying that about Leonshi? I might have not been paying attention because my hand was up.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah. That basically Leonis and Leonshi are killed in an absolutely brutal way by Manticore. Publicly.
Yeah. Which is bad. And Scorio's like, "No, my friends."
I was devastated the first time I read this.
Me too. Me too.
She died.
Me too. I was so what I'll say is this series, maybe it's just because I'm naive or gullible or I'm just really enjoying it and not thinking while I'm listening, really surprises me a lot of different times. Like there's a lot of things that happen where I'm like, oh, I was not expecting that. And Leonshi and Leonis being dead, I was like, oh, these are like main characters and they're just fucking dead, huh? So yeah, I was very surprised by that. Tnerb?
I agree. I mean that I'm serious. That it's like a huge emotional loss for everybody, including Scorio, but mostly myself too. Yeah. No, it was. I was pretty shocked.
Big sad.
Actually.
Yeah. Big sad.
Yeah, I don't really understand the emotion of sadness, but generally speaking.
Yeah. But theoretically, you understand objectively how it could be sad.
You know what though? For what it's worth, killing people that way in a book like that, I mean, it's not expected, I think.
Yeah.
Now, unless there's something that you're not telling me about book 3, but no, I think it was.
Well, there's a lot of things you're not telling me about book 3, but nothing specifically related to this.
Wait, are you done with 3?
No, I have an hour left, and
yeah, there's a lot happening. The last
a lot happens.
There's a lot happening.
Yeah.
I'll say. So just to finish up here, then Scorio and Naomi, they plan to go after the last 2 dread blazes, which is Idriel and
there's 3. Damien,
Simeon,
and Idriel.
Yeah.
Who was the second one you said? Damien, and who was the second one?
Simeon, the guy who can take over people's bodies.
Yeah, okay. And then Idriel is the one who can make the prison.
Yeah. And those 2 are fucking.
Yes.
And
I did catch.
You find out that Idriel and Simeon are in Bastion with Praximar. Praximar has taken over Bastion and slaughtered the leaders of the regular people and basically butchered the other houses that weren't his own. and taken over all of Bastion and the Rascor Plains. And in reward for what Damien and Manticore did, they basically got a bunch of resources and created their own training island and got a bunch of new recruits. And so Naomi and Scorio decide they're going to attack Damien on his island and kill him.
Yes.
And they basically fly to do that. They attack. They manage to damage or kill a bunch of their recruits, but they fail to kill Damien because he has a great soul that can teleport.
Yep.
And he runs away.
Yeah, and he runs away. He runs away to Bastion specifically to warn Praximar. And Scorio's like, "That's fine, I'm coming." And he's like, "Okay." And then he's like, "All right, I'm gonna go slaughter these people." And then he goes back to Bastion, very angry and upset with Naomi, and like a Dumas, gets captured.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how he gets captured. He's just kind of like being a dumb idiot.
With the rebellion, and he finds his old teacher, the Hell Whip.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right.
And she has that same like tactical ability where she can come up with a strategy. And
except for she's really shitty at it.
We're gonna recruit Ravenna, and she's gonna help us gain access or whatever.
Oh,
and
yeah. Sorry, I remember earlier there was a party that Scorio went to, and Ravenna was like, "I'm gonna flirt with you," and Scorio's like, "Oh, I'm in a fantasy novel. I don't know how to deal with any type of sexual suggestive ideas."
Yeah.
You don't care about this part?
No.
I thought this part was very interesting.
You also find out that Leonis and Lianchi have reincarnated already.
Yep.
And are in the current Academy class. And Praximar, knowing that they mean something to Scorio, has been basically making them his servants.
Yeah.
And they are together romantically, which they were not in the first book and leading up to now. And it hinted that Praximar has basically been heavily involved with them. Basically as a final like fuck you to Scorio.
Yeah. Praximar's an asshole.
Yeah.
I would have done the same thing for the record. I would.
Yeah.
That's a pretty like solid revenge plan.
It's pretty. I'm gonna take your friends, bring them back, and basically do everything I can to turn them against you.
Yeah.
So Helmuth. Basically, Helmuth has a plan, and then it backfires.
They invite Ravenna to dinner. They secret her away to their hideout. Everything goes to plan. Turns out it's not really Ravenna. It's Simeon, the guy who can take over bodies. And so, like, they get ambushed in their hideout by the Shadow Petal, Simeon, Idriel, like a bunch of fucking people. And so most everyone dies. Scorio is taken prisoner in House Hydra's prisons, and Leonis and Lianchi have to take him to the prison. He's back in one of Idriel's prisons as like another big fuck you, which is really bad for his mental health because he's like, not again, no. And then Leonis and Lianchi have to transport him, and they realize this is fucked up what he's making us do. Like, we're sorry, but we're gonna do it anyway. And then he's in the prison. Dungeon, and he somehow burns coal mana, but I don't remember how. Does she take the prism off?
Yes, she takes the. I think she takes the. Or no. He's stuck with it.
Oh, he can burn what's in his heart, and he already had coal mana in his heart. Is that right?
Yeah, it's something like that, or that. I don't even know that he can burn it.
He activates.
No, he did, because that's how Nox knows where he is, but I don't remember why.
Somehow, and also Druana is in the cell next to him. He can't talk to her because he's in the prism, but he can hear her.
That's right.
And so he activates his coal mana.
He burns it, and Nox feels him burning the coal mana because Nox is still around. Comes and basically breaks Scorio out of the prison.
And the prism, right? Because Nox is like saliva disintegrated.
Yeah, which was established already in previous books. We already knew that was a thing. That's and then Nox breaks him free, and then he realizes, oh, Druana is also a prisoner here. Druana is not only is she a pirate lady, but she is a extremely combat capable pirate lady.
This part was awesome.
Scorio encountered her when she was doing a patrol for House Kraken in the farmlands, and notes that she is like a very powerful pirate lady. Not just any pirate lady, right? She's very combat capable.
But she's been a prisoner for 2 years, and so like she's mentally not great, but she's fucking pissed.
Yeah, she's really mad too. Scorio's really mad too. He's not sure if Naomi's dead or alive, I think, at this point, and basically he breaks Druana. After Nox breaks him out, he breaks Druana out, and they're like, okay. And Druana's like, well, I'm going to go up there and kill them all. Yeah. You can come with me if you want. And he's like, sure, I'll come. And she's like, cool. And then she goes up, and
they fucking slaughter a bunch of people.
Praximar is like in a great hall with a bunch of his.
There's a battle in the guard room first with Simeon and Idriel, and they kill both of them.
Yes, that's right.
And then that's how they found out something about Jova. Like Jova got put into a prison by Idriel because she was pissed about something. I don't remember what exactly, but like Jova finally turned against Manticore, and so they imprisoned her in a room upstairs in a prison. And so before they go after Praximar, they go to find Jova.
But also, I do want to point out that Jova was like pretty involved in Manticore and pretty supportive and like on their side for like 1.9 years. Yeah. And then it was like very recently.
Yeah.
I think she found out that Simeon, one of the Manticore guys, was like manipulating her like hard. It sounded like she like kind of had feels for him or something.
Damien, yeah.
So she, not that she had feelings for him, but Damien had basically been promising her everything that Scorio was supposed to. Like, I have my memories from as an Imperator,
and she was mad at Scorio.
I'll tell you all the secrets of hell, all this stuff. And they told her that Leonis and Leonshi were killed in the chasm during a training, incident by Feeds. And it was a very flimsy excuse. Like, if she had really wanted to pursue it, she would have realized that was false, but she didn't, because Damien was sort of raising her up. And remember, it's a big coup. Whichever house gets Jova, that's a big deal, because she is a very well-known great soul in hell.
Right.
And so he'd been keeping her close. But then after all this and she had realized that, he's not giving me any answers. This is going nowhere. And so he had Idriel freeze her.
Right.
And she ends up back in Bastion, frozen, and Scorio, Nox, and Druana free her.
Yeah.
And find Naomi.
They find Naomi as well.
I don't remember where Naomi was. I don't know. She just appears.
Nearby, I think.
The Nightmare Lady just pops out. It's like, yeah, what's up? The only thing I want to point out about the Jova thing is I thought of this earlier, but wanted to wait until this point to bring it up. Is as much as I think Jova's really annoying, I think that she actually does have a pretty reasonable point. I don't think it's reasonable that she's like, why are you caring for these civilians in the rebellion? But I think she's kind of right that until obviously Scorio ended up in the Crucible and everything happened, but like it did seem that after he won the gauntlet, he did lose a little bit of his motivation. That was like, I'm going to be the best. I'm going to pursue power. And she was kind of right about that. Right. And it seemed that they kind of talk about it a little bit, that Scorio even realizes like, oh, maybe I did lose my way a little bit after being the best of the best in the Crucible. That was like the highest of the highs. And maybe I did lose my motivation a little bit. And so all I want to say is, as much as I think Jova's annoying, I think she did have a reasonable point to be frustrated with Scorio, because Scorio is very, very motivated to do things. But I think in the book, Jova has the best discipline and motivation to do things.
Yes.
Like, she is crazy focused always on being the best of the best. That's all. There's just a defense of Jova.
Yep. And so they go into the Great Hall and they see that Praximar is there, and he's like, oh, Druana.
Yeah.
And then Druana's like, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
And then she summons her Eidolon, and it's a full powered one, and it starts butchering all the great souls in the hall. And in the chaos and madness, Praximar flees. And
I hate him so much.
Druana is fighting like tons of great souls at this point, and she's also like kind of crazy because she was imprisoned for so long, and so Jova sees that Praximar is leaving, and so does Scorio, and Scorio decides to go after Praximar. Remembering that he is a Flame Vault and Praximar is a Pyre Lord, but Praximar is a Pyre Lord who's known for being an incredibly weak Pyre Lord, non-combat focused, and Praximar heads to his office, and Scorio follows him there, and John Wick style, basically, due to his gold-tempered body, outlasts Praximar and kills him.
And Praximar spent a bunch of mana to signal the Iron Tyrant.
Iron Tyrant.
Yes. Yeah. Praximar thinks that he's got it in the bag and uses a bunch of his stored mana. He's winning against Scorio and uses his stored mana to summon the Iron Tyrant instead of using it to kill Scorio, which is what he should have done. And
I just want to say we're at the end of the book. I said the summary would take an hour and a half. It's been about an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah. So this is usually how it works, Tnerb.
Yeah. And then he kills him, and then the Iron Tyrant comes and is like, "Oh man, you killed him!" And then a bunch of actually other higher ups from Hell also appear at the same time. I think a Crimson Earl and a Crimson Countess.
Hold on, pause 1 second. I just want to talk about how he kills Praximar. He, I'm trying to remember exactly how to word it, but the issue was that Praximar ran out of mana, basically, but I'm trying to remember exactly how it was worded. He like exhausted his, or what is it called? Guttered his heart.
Yeah.
Right.
And he was crawling to the desk to try and get another vial of mana because Scorio had drained the room with his secret marinating technique thing.
Mm-hmm.
Secret marinating technique, Scorio. Okay.
And Scorio headbutted him to death in the face.
Yeah. So I wanted to clarify. So when he guttered his heart, basically he tried to use more mana than was available. And did that mean that his heart was no longer usable and then it was easy to kill him? Or can you just explain to me what that means exactly?
Yeah. So for everybody below Pyre Lord, the only mana you can burn is what's in your reservoir, which is separate from your heart, but like adjacent. So like you fill up your reservoir full of mana, you ignite your heart, you burn the fuel that you have like a propane tank. When you run out of mana in your reservoir, your heart gutters. It shuts off. And then like it's kind of exhausting to do that. So you have to take a break and fill your reservoir back up and repeat and do it again. At Pyre Lord, you can have a full reservoir, ignite your heart, and burn the ambient mana as well as what's in your reservoir. But Praximar wasn't burning the ambient mana because he had emerald mana that he had drank, and that's better than the ambient stuff. So he was using what was in his reservoir to signal the Iron Tyrant and whatever, and didn't realize that Scorio was draining the room. And so by the time that Praximar had used up most of his reservoir and was going to refill or use the room's mana, it was already empty.
So there was no ambient mana left, so he had no mana to use, and Scorio still had mana, and so that's why Scorio just fucked him up.
Right. Scorio doesn't ever touch his reservoir at this point. He's like, why would I ever burn what's in my reservoir when I can constantly just burn what's around me?
So Praximar was a cocky asshole and didn't realize Scorio had this. Although it seems like anyone would have been shocked that Scorio could do this because this is exceptionally rare if you're not a Pyre Lord. My question is, let's say theoretically you're a Pyre Lord in a room, you guttered your heart, and there's no ambient mana. Does that mean that like I could kill him?
Well,
like he's basically, if I just kill him with a knife.
Yeah.
Like he basically has no access.
They still have like Scorio's body is still gold tempered.
That's what I'm asking.
So he has no mana. He is far tougher. You know,
it's so vulnerable to a knife. Like if you slit his throat, he's still gonna die. But if you like punched him, you probably wouldn't do that much damage.
That's what I'm asking is like, if you're a Pyre Lord in this world, if you're a Pyre Lord and there's no ambient mana and your heart is guttered, are you kind of like weak as if you have no powers? Or is it like what Szage is saying? Like
I think you're still superhuman, but to another great soul, you're you're not
You're
one,
just human.
right?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
You're-
So
you're-
like a
you might as
normal
well be
human
human.
who's not a great soul couldn't do it, but
could you stab him with a knife? Probably not. Could another great soul who's a flame vault or a tomb spark do it? Yes.
got it. So I guess the point of all this is that, like, again, I'm not saying Scorio's just lucky, but what really did it is that Praximar didn't know he was able to suck out all the ambient mana, because otherwise Scorio would have been fucked. Like if there still had been ambient mana in the room, Scorio would have lost.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so then, as you were saying, the Iron Tyrant comes and some other big deal great souls.
Yep.
Yeah.
They all offer Scorio like spots in their retinue, and he turns them all down.
Yes. And he turns down Jova as well. Jova offers to sort of once again reaccompany him, and he and Naomi say, no, we don't trust you. And they decide they're going to go their own way. And that's how the book ends.
I thought it was very cool how they're kind of like, well, you killed a Pyre Lord, and we need to kind of figure out what your punishment should be. And then they kind of have this almost like fake pseudo trial thing in front of the Iron Tyrant and these people. And Scorio's kind of just like very cocky and just confident with his decision. He's like, yeah, I did it, and whatever. And they respect it and love it. And they're like, yeah, no punishment. Also, do you want to be on our team? Because you're powerful. And it's like they clearly just respect power. And it's like, yeah, at the end of the day, whatever. The ethics, you want to come work for us?
Yeah.
It's like in the real world.
Yeah, I think they literally say that, or something to the effect of that, or he says, if there's any justification for what I did, it's the fact that I pulled it off.
Yeah.
And then they're like,
so
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, you're right.
So awesome.
Cool.
Only other tidbits, just because they're important for the later thing, is I believe there's a bit right before the trial where like Scorio finds a book in Praximar's chamber, and I don't remember the details. I remember like the point of it. I don't know if you guys remember the details specifically of it, but it basically shows that Praximar might have been involved with the herdsmen. Is that the gist?
Yeah, the book was like secret organizations of hell, basically. And Scorio looks at the index, and there's no herdsmen, but there is something called the shepherds. And he's like, that's close enough. It's probably the same people. And he goes to where that section is supposed to be, and the page is ripped out, but there's like a handwritten note from Praximar basically being like, I should know about this organization, and I know that there is a copy of this book with this information in the library at Last Rock, but Jova won't let me read it. Like, my ties to the herdsmen must be discovered or something.
Right.
Yeah.
And so just kind of circling back to the whole thing, because a lot of stuff happened that isn't necessarily directly related to the first book, but again, kind of like this overall goal is that Scorio needs to go to Last Rock to find out more about the herdsmen. And interestingly enough, the third book is called Last Rock. Yeah. So
what do we think of the book?
Oh, it was fucking awesome. I mean, that's
2 thumbs up.
Yeah,
Awesome.
2 thumbs up.
Two
like
thumbs
this
up.
is
Loved it. Absolutely.
Agreed. Sorry.
no, it's okay, buddy. It doesn't have to be a competition, but which did you like, the first book more or the second book more?
Second book.
I like the second book more too.
Yeah. Same.
Same. I think part of it is
Good world building. I like it.
Yeah.
yeah, really good world building. Scorio's a fucking badass. Fuck Praximar. I mean, that's a huge part of it too. I just hated Praximar, right? And so to see him get it, he has such a good voice in the audiobooks. He sounds like such an asshole, such a smug, cocky jerk. It was really nice to see him get his comeuppance.
Yeah. He gets his face bashed in. He gets
yeah.
face bashed to death.
I really liked how there were a lot of fights with different great souls that had consequences, right? Because I think part of the problem in the first book is it's like, yeah, they spar, but they don't really die. It's like they're in the crucible. This was like a lot of very high stakes battles between great souls with really interesting, cool powers.
Yeah.
One
One thing we never, just last thing. Damien, the leader of Manticore gets away.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's the last thing to say. But he's also really upset and heartbroken at Scorio because basically Scorio slaughtered all of his friends.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah. I think this book did a lot of things really, really well. I thought the pacing in this book was excellent. Like I know, Red, you said the part in the Crucible might have been a little slow. I usually always complain about pacing if it's slow. I ran through this book. This book was a very quick listen. I mean, I crushed this book and just wanted more and started the third book immediately.
I think it only felt slow because the axe picking and the Crucible were like so close.
They were one after another. Yeah, I get that. I think that Phil Tucker, at least so far, for me, does a really good job of having that slog that's a little slow, but then having a huge payoff. And so for me, it's like, I hear what you're saying, and it was a little slow, but especially in this book, the payoff is so great. Yeah. Like I can't emphasize enough how in the book they make it very, very clear that Scorio being gold tempered is a huge deal. Like it seemed to me the gravity of it is there are like no other great souls who are gold tempered. It is exceptionally, maybe not none. It's exceptionally rare.
Yeah, maybe Iulus the Golden, who was like the legendary great soul that led the great souls into hell and forged the city of Bastion back in ancient times. Maybe he was gold tempered. Maybe.
Right.
But otherwise it's just been Scoria. Yeah. So anyway, cool stuff.
Tnerb, any thoughts on anything? What did you like about the book? What did you not like about the book? Anything? You don't have to say anything you don't want. I'm just trying to pry some thoughts out of your head while you're eating.
Sorry.
It's fine.
It's been a long day.
It's okay, buddy. You don't have to worry.
I don't even remember what I was going to say.
So we always do a thing where we give a book, thumbs up, thumbs down. You can do 2 thumbs up, 1 thumb up. On the books that you have read, where does this rank? Is this like a great book? Is this a good book?
This was a good book. I think. I mean, we sort of talked about it. Parts of it were slow. I mean, for me, like I know when I read a book and I'm like, I can't put it down. This was in the parts of it I can't put it down. For other parts, I'm like, what the hell am I reading? Why is this taking so long? And I don't have the audiobook, so I don't know. I'm curious actually maybe I'll do that for the third one because I haven't started it yet. I haven't had time. I just think the idea, I mean, world building in general in this book is incredible. I mean, the whole series I think is probably that case. Really good writing in that sense, but also Scorio being like there's a pretty significant metaphor of him being burned down and reforged, kind of, after all the losses and everything. And I think the end of this made it. You're right. I mean, it was worth. You're right. The end of it was worth the wait.
Yeah.
For parts of the book where I was like, I am surprised this is going to like it. I don't know. There were certain parts of the book where I don't even know what specific chapters I'm thinking of, but just for me, it wasn't the writing. It was just the parts where I'm like, okay, this is dragging on a little bit. So.
Yeah.
Hold on.
What were you going to say, Sage?
No, I was going to ask Tnerb if he has an example of a book that he considers to be a great book.
Yeah,
and I think
I wanted to know that
he was
too.
implying that Will of the Many is one of those, but or Red Rising, but yeah.
Tnerb, did you hear that?
About what you can't.
Well, you said this book was good, so it's a great book.
Well, I'm so I know, what do you consider like a great book, like something that you just cannot put down? Fiction, fantasy. What is it? And I think you were implying that Will of the Many was that, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. It's interesting because it took me a lot longer to read the 6th book of Red Rising for some reason, even though I think generally that was a decent book. Honestly, those books in general, I mean, it's hard for me to know exactly it's not always the best books that make me not like, but I thought the 5th book of Red Rising series was just incredible.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I do wonder.
Dawnbringer, I think.
Yeah.
I do
It's the
wonder
gold
if this is just a possibility. That might not be the case, but I feel like have there been any recent changes in your life that could be causing you to be more tired, or
Also, here's the thing. My job requires thing. I
was talking about your child, but
no, I know that. I'm just saying before the child.
the Rascor.
Yeah, before the child. Even with I'd fall asleep. There are just books where I didn't want to fall asleep.
Yeah.
And this one didn't really put me to sleep. So I thought it was good. It wasn't. It was above good. It was in good between good and great, I think.
Yeah. I'm curious what you think about the third book. I am at the point now where, like I said,
the third book might be a great.
I have an hour left in the third book, and I do this thing where when something's coming to an end, I procrastinate because the fourth book isn't out yet, and I'm like, what am I gonna do the third book?
That's perhaps the reason that I did that with Red Rising 2, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Eventually, you got to finish it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna read those. My question is, and we can talk about this in general or after stream, is we need to come up with a list of books. I'm going to be honest with you. After this third book is done, I need another book. And I think our next book club should be about the third book. So because I'm a slower reader, we don't have to do this, but can we put another book in the queue that we think we're going to do after this third book so I can get started on it?
It is my turn.
Yes.
Unless we want to give it to Tnerb.
Well, no, I want you. No, you guys should pick because I'm still getting the hang of this.
Okay.
I'll read whatever. But
can I just explain to him in the grand scheme of things what we do usually?
Yes.
We usually give 3 books, and then together we kind of vote on which book of those 3 we pick for the next club, and we do it kind
rotate.
of. So it's Red's turn, and then Szage, I think it's your turn after that.
She puts up 3 books, and we pick which one of the 3 we want to have for the next book club. It's okay if we've already read it.
Okay.
Because Szage has read every book that has ever existed.
Except for Discount Dan.
Except for the Communist Manifest.
Oh, please put a Discount Dan.
Yeah, both of those books I have not read.
I'm not putting up Discount Dan.
What about the Communist Manifesto?
He's not read it.
I'm breaking the rules because we have a new team member, and there are 2 options that have already been discussed that I'm very excited about for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
One, Will of the Many. The new one is coming out in November. So if we're doing another book club on the Great Souls, which is going to be late September, early October.
That's true. We will probably be at that point.
Then exactly, we could do Will of the Many mid to late October and roughly be close for the second Will of the Many. Not quite, but
I'm down.
That's option number 1.
Is it this book by James Islington?
Yes.
That
is a
looks
very
boring as shit by the cover. What a terrible cover.
So hold on.
Not boring.
I'm gonna sell you on it, Butter. It's a very dark political Game of Thrones
sold.
level.
Sold.
I know. I knew you'd be sold. Easy.
The other option.
Fred froze.
Tnerb will really, and he hasn't read yet, is Dungeon Crawler Carl, which is much more fun and funny and lighthearted. So it just depends.
Option 3.
I think that we would be, if Tnerb is joining us, we would be better off doing Will of the Many because we would be reviewing book 4 of Dungeon Crawler Carl, and he would have to read the first 3 books.
Then we're playing
and then get to the 4th one in order for us to.
I mean, I can also do that. I can work on that too. I mean,
no,
that's true.
Option
Maybe
3.
We do that then. We do Will of the Many, and at the same time, Tnerb has to do 2 books.
Yeah,
bring it on.
You read Will of the Many.
Yeah,
right. He has read.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, so
I can play catch up.
Yeah, so I think that we should do the next Bastion book first. We should do Last Rock.
Yes.
And then we'll do Will of the Many after that.
Wait, but Red, what's your third book?
No, I said I'm breaking the mold, and I wanted to.
Got
it. I vote Will of the Many.
Yeah.
It makes sense because the 3 of us have read the first 3. Is that right, Butter?
Yeah.
The first 3
well, the second one is the bomb one, and then the third one is Anarchist Cookbook, or I'm trying to remember I'm pretty sure I read the third one.
Okay.
Let me see. Dungeon. Let me just look it up. Yeah, I'm right. Look at me. One
Okay.
is Dungeon Crawler Carl, then it's Doomsday Scenario, then it's Dungeon Anarchist Cookbook.
Did you look at that list that I sent you
Yep.
on Word? Okay.
Okay, you guys all seem pretty hyped about this book. Szage, you like this book too?
It is, I think, one of the best books
Great.
that I have read in the past
Double thumbs
5
up.
years. Yeah,
Really?
it is.
I agree.
It is so. And
You're gonna absolutely. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Buttercar. We're past this.
We'll fix it
You're
in
gonna-
post.
You're gonna fucking love it.
Everyone
You're
does
gonna
that.
love it.
Am I
You're
gonna?
gonna-
Okay,
you're
I'm
gonna-
excited.
I
Love it.
will say, Pat, God damn it, Szage recommended this book to me when I was like mid-divorce. That was not the right time to read this book.
Oh, is it dark
Yeah.
and
You
like?
should reread it. Maybe it'll be.
Yeah.
Red usually
Less.
does reread the books. Are you guys gonna
I-
reread it?
I'm gonna.
I'm
read
going
it.
to. Yeah. And just throwing it out there, if anyone has time, his other series, the first book is, I think, called it's called the Lycanus series, and the first book is The Shadow of What Once Was Lost.
Mhm.
Really good book.
Interesting. I've never heard of this guy.
Yeah.
Is he new to like to being an author?
No.
2014,
His-
it looks like.
Yeah.
Not that new.
Huh.
No.
I didn't know about this series until recently.
Tnerb, how did you come across this book?
Because the guy who recommended Red Rising to me also said, I got a new one for you. This one is supposed to be like, it was like a similar world building kind of thing. I mean, a little bit different, but he said, I guarantee you this is going to be one of the best series ever to be written. And I was
When's
like,
that? Wait, so and the second book is coming out when?
November.
Oh, I'm
November.
excited. I'm very excited. And then next
It
we have to
is-
get Tnerb to read Cradle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like
I will
fun
say
stuff.
that Will of the Many gave me like Cradle-like excitement. Like that's how excited I
cool.
was in this book. So
That's cool.
you'll like it. But first, Last Rock
Yeah.
from Phil Tucker, book 3 of Bastion.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
for
this
Immortal
works
Great Souls.
perfect for me because I'm almost done with Last Rock, and then I'll just get Will of the Many. Audiobook, Red? Did you listen to this book?
Yeah. Audiobook is
good.
good.
Okay. 640 pages. Okay. So then,
Yes.
Tnerb,
Yeah.
thank you for joining us. This is Reading Books with Friends podcast, and this was super fun. Everyone, I mean, highly recommend this series. I am going to be legitimately sad and like I'm not going to know what to do with myself when this book is over. When does book 4 come out?
So Red and I have done a terrible thing, and we've both followed Phil Tucker on Patreon.
Mhm.
And you get
Wait, what is it called?
access to
Patreon? I thought it was called Patreon.
Patreon, and you get access to the he's posting the book 4
No,
chapters.
no.
Yeah, what? It's so good. It's so good.
Is he
It's
really? I
like-
didn't know
it
I
is
that.
can't
like-
even listen. I try to keep up
can't
with
tell
these
you
guys
the-
on reading books, and I
hype.
can't even do it when the book's not out yet because
The hype
they
is
buy
so-
memberships to read
It's
books
wild.
before they're out. So how many
No,
chapters
it's
have you
so
read?
good.
How much of the book have you read?
I don't want to say.
47
Did you read the
chapters.
whole book?
No, the whole book's not done yet. We've read 47 chapters out of I don't know how many.
47
I'm so
chapters?
upset.
Should be
I'm
around
so
80
upset. It's
something
going to be around
chapters, I
80,
think.
so you've read more than half the book.
To be
Well, so here's the
fair,
question:
we
How much is a Patreon cost?
It's like $5 a month.
Oh, I thought it was
Yeah.
$5 a month. We're talking about for a specific author.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, well, I'll finish. Oh my god.
But
I
you'd
mean,
actually have to
when
read
does
it
the
'cause
fourth book come
you don't-
out?
You can't listen to it on
We don't
Patreon.
know.
Yeah, end of this year, I think is what they're saying.
All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna finish Last Rock, and then I'm gonna read The Will of the Many. Listen to The Will of the Many, and then if I'm done with that, and we're still waiting, I probably will get a Patreon for Phil Tucker and read.
Unless it's time for Dungeon Crawler Carl.
That's true. So,
All right,
Well,
I'm
okay.
gonna
Lots to
stop
do.
recording now.
why
So-
we didn't say it's Reading Books
Oh.
with Friends, the podcast,
Okay, go. I
Reading
thought you
Books
did.
with Friends podcast.
starring
Yeah.
I'm Butter.
I'm Tnerb.
I'm Sage.
And I'm Red.
All right, see you guys next time where we'll be reviewing book 3, Last Rock by Phil Tucker of the Immortal Souls series. Okay.
Tnerb out.
Bye.